Hi guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Let's Set Up Ubuntu Linux. Well, as I say, it's the third video in the instalment, but it's the second genuine episode, of where I've been getting into the nitty-gritty things, and I can't believe I've just said nitty-gritty. Anyways, last time we went over, I showed you Ubuntu Tweak, and we went over setting software sources and installing new softwares and removing certain ones using Ubuntu Tweak, which is like a godsend to me. I've not done anything to the system, I've not even had it booted up since the last video, so as I've said, any change to the system will be fully documented on video for you guys to see. The only things I have done is there was an update to VirtualBox along with the guest editions, and I updated them, but that actually has nothing to do with the Ubuntu OS itself, so I didn't feel I needed to show that. And what else did I do? Yeah, I changed the key binding for Annnnnd. Basically, its default key binding to summon it is the super key, or on an Apple keyboard, the command key plus spacebar. Now, because I'm using VirtualBox, the host key is actually the left command key, and that would be the command key that I'd be using. So instead I've changed it to Control and Space to bring it up, and then you can basically look for any app. So why don't we give that a try actually, because in this episode we'll be working in the godsend that is Ubuntu Tweak again. I mean, we'll pretty much be using that for almost everything. It's just so obscenely powerful with what it can do, and it just simplifies so much, consolidating it all, putting it all in one place. So let me summon Annnnnd again and start typing in Ubuntu. There it is, press enter, and how fast and easy it is to bring up the program there. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check for updates, because it's been a minute or two. I mean, it's been a little bit of time since I last I have to put in my password. It's been a little bit of time since the last video. I mean, I should think we're close to the final release of the final release of version 11.4 now, or at this rate it'll probably be 11.5. And what did I tell you? We have updates. So I'm just going to check all them updates and install them. All I'm going to be doing is just clicking install updates, and then let it do its job, so you won't be missing anything. I'm going to pause the video here just in case it takes a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've installed those updates. As you can see, no more available updates now, and hopefully if I refresh, it'll tell me there's no more updates when it's finished loading, that is. Yep, software information is now up to date, so that's out of the way. So now we've got all our software set up here. One of the next things I'm going to be showing you is the package cleaner. However, while actually thinking about that, and while I was saying, that I'm going to show you package cleaner and stuff, I just remembered there's a few other softwares and little bits and bobs that I would get that I can't necessarily get through the Ubuntu Tweak. However, I can get some. I'm going to try and enable Compass. Now, it should let me enable it because I have the guest editions installed, therefore 3D acceleration. However, I'm not certain. But if we select Compass settings here, or comps, or however you pronounce it, now the prerequisite conditions: install Advanced Desktop Effects Settings Manager. Yes, please. And then click apply. I'm only going to do the simple one anyway, because desktop cube and all that rubbish, even if Compass does work, I think that'll be a bit too much for a virtual machine. So let's click apply here. And it downloads the files very fast. Starts installing, as you can see. And it's done. It says update successful. It's not really an update, it's installing it for the first time. So let's give it a try. Let's enable wobbly windows. Disable snapping. I don't know whether this will work through virtual machine very well, but we'll try. Well, as you can see, we've got wobbly windows, but it's very, very, it's not the smoothest experience in the world, but it still works. Well, let's go back to ordinary snapping windows there. You see, it's very choppy, just moving the window around anyway. Let's enable transparent menus. And that'll do. That'll do, as long as that's all installed. Whoa, oh, that's alright. Had a slight little, I don't know, it had a slight little issue there. Anyway, now we've done that, there's one other application that I want to install that I don't think seems to be in the application center here. I'll check one more time. Let's go to internet. No, an instant message. Nope, it's not in there either. So let's just briefly quit this. We'll bring it back up in a minute. And we actually want to go to the software center. So let me bring that up. There we go. Ubuntu Software Center. So I know I said I wouldn't really be using this, but for some things, apparently I will be. And one of the things I want to install, I mean, I probably won't be using it much because my primary operating system now is OS X. But if this was still my main primary OS, as it has been before, then one of the things I would install would be XChat. Now, they have a GNOME XChat there, but I prefer to use the genuine one here, as I say, because it seems to be a little more full-featured in my experience. So I do prefer this one. So let's click install to install XChat. Yeah, I need to authenticate the password again. And now I need to wait for it to install, which won't take too long. Yeah, almost there. So I ain't bothering to pause for every single small installation. It was just for them updates in case it took a while. Okay, so XChat is now installed as well, and I think that's pretty much everything I need. Let me remove these from here because I don't need them when I've got the dock. Remove from panel, remove from panel, and oops, I went a bit too high there. That's also, you see, most of this is actually winging it because I'm setting it up just as I would even if I wasn't recording a video. Well, one of the things I want XChat to go in here. So let's put you there. I won't be using the terminal too often, so let's get you out. Thank you. Ribbon box, you can stay in there. Although let's swap empathy with you. And actually, I probably don't need empathy in there, to be honest, because, well, you'll see. That will come in a minute. I'm going to try and cover a lot in this video. I don't know if it'll be everything, but it might actually even be. I can't think of anything else that I would really want or need in the. Oh, let's put Skype in there as well while we're at it. Skype. and transmission as well. Okay, so now I have a few apps in my dock. Okay, that should do the job. Next up, let's bring up Ubuntu Tweak again, because now I want to show you the package cleaner, because it's still somewhat freshly installed system, and there's probably a few rubbish leftover packages and files and bits and bobs that we could clean up to save on disk space. So let's go to the package cleaner here. Now we need to unlock it, mostly because some things, you know, like cleaning the kernels and stuff, it does need the admin rights for. So again, it's just safety procedure, being cautious. So first thing, clean packages, and we're cleaning the previous Firefox package, I'm guessing. So let's keep that checked. I'm trying to see if I can do them all together here. As I say, I cannot quite remember. Okay, so we're at cache there. If I go back to that though, is that unchecked? Yeah, that's unchecked, so we have to do them one at a time. So let's clean this up first. Wait for it. And there we go, clean up successful. That's removed that obsolete package. And now we would go to the cache and clean out the cache. I think this is where it caches downloaded packages and downloaded dev files. Yeah, as you can see here, look. So let's select all of these and clean up. That's simple. You know, just select them all and just clean them up. The only thing you want to be careful with is cleaning kernels if an update is very recent. Like a kernel update is very recent, because if you encounter any sort of problems, you can't roll back to that previous kernel then. And purging PPAs, that's not really something you need to be doing unless you are totally removing a PPA, which we're not doing, because you saw me add the ones recently, and excuse me, and what's the point in me adding them if I'm just going to purge them the next second? So apparently it's taking a lot longer to clean these, but it's probably because there's a lot more of them. But it will get there eventually, I hope. I really don't want. There we go. Yeah, it's cleanup successful, so that's the cache cleared as well, which was probably taking up the most space. You see, I forgot to look at the top there to see how much space we were actually reclaiming. Okay, clean config, that's something that's safe to do as well. I've done it plenty of times, so just again select all, clean up, that's simple. And it will remove any obsolete configuration files. Again, this might take a minute, but it won't take forever, as we saw. There we go, cleanup successful. Now I'm going to check the kernels if there's more than 2 for clearing up. There we go, there is more than 2. Let's clear the oldest one, that one, and keep the most recent for now. Clean up. Because that means it's got at least one kernel to roll back to, you see. In case of errors. Cleanup successful. There we go, and that's all we need to do with that now. Let me just check, make sure there's nothing else I want to do with it. To be honest, not much that I can think of. Was Ubuntu Tweak going to tell me about my computer, considering it's running virtually? Host name will be Ubuntu 10.10 Maverick Meerkat. Desktop environment is GNOME version 2.32. CPU, well, at least it reads the CPU properly. Intel Core i3 CPU, 3.07 gigahertz, that's right. It's only reading 1 gig of RAM, or just over, because that's the amount of RAM that I gave to it, basically. So yeah, I think we're done with Ubuntu Tweak for now. So let's actually get started as though we're actually going to use this thing, shall we? The next thing I want to go to is actually getting the me menu up and running. So to do that, first off, I want to set up, I'm going to ignore mail because I'm not a big fan of the mail clients built into Ubuntu because they're not very good at running in the background. The integration is not quite so good as, say, with Gwibber for social broadcasting and with Empathy for the chat. So let's set up broadcast account first. I'm only going to put my Twitter in for now, I think, though. As I say, because I don't worry, I want to be showing off my personal Facebook. So we can add new accounts here. You see, this just came up automatically, but it is actually Gwibber. And now if we look, it can support Dig, Twitter, StatusNet, Ping.fm. I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Facebook, FriendFeed, Buzz, Flickr, and Identica. And we're selecting Twitter for this one. Add. And now I need to authorize. And it asks me for my Twitter credentials. And yes, my official Twitter is @J800R, and you are welcome to follow me on there. Let me just put in my... Okay, and we have to allow it access. Redirecting back to application. There we go, authorized. Then just click that add button, and there we go. There's our Twitter account, and then we can just close this. And there comes the Gwibber main menu. Now, if it weren't for the dock, you wouldn't even really know that Gwibber was running. You'd barely even know that this was Gwibber, except for that little Gwibber menu there, of course. And there's all my tweets and stuff, and obviously I can post a tweet there, but as well, ow, something just cracked in my skull. I assure you, though, my brain's still working, I'm not dead yet. Okay, so let's just close that window. And now if we look, yeah, you see you've got the little arrow by that. That means Gwibber's still running in the background. So if we click on here now on the me menu, oh. Okay, never mind. They seem to have taken away that feature. They used to have where once you set up your broadcast account, there was a little box here where you could post your status updates, but apparently they're not doing that anymore. So you'll still get notifications and stuff of new tweets if it's Twitter, and new Facebook updates and stuff, but apparently if you want to post a status update, you have to click on this envelope, go to broadcast, and actually bring the Gwibber window up, and then type your message here, click send, and it'll send you a Twitter. Very disappointed about that, to be honest. But I think I said when I initially reviewed 10.10, I've not seen that many improvements as such. A few regressions, but no real improvements. So also what we could set up is a chat account. I'll have one of my accounts, because the one where I least expect anyone to actually contact me on it, because this is only for an example. Yes, onto my account details now. Let's go for that. Okay. And don't bother trying to add me on any messengers and stuff, because it's only for, friends or people I know, and you'll just be, if I don't know the address or I'm not expecting an ad request, it will be instantly denied anyway. Let's see if I remember. Hopefully that's right. That's all for now, so long as it's right. Don't want to enable that feature. Let's click apply. And what do you know? I got my password wrong. I'll be this one then. Okay, apply. Connecting. And there we go. And now, see, we can close this window, and Empathy is actually still running in the background. I can even change my Empathy status. For example, I can go busy by just selecting the status there, and it will just change it on Empathy right there and then. To be honest, that's a lot of it done. for my basic setup. All I'd really do now, as I say, is potentially, I mean, I've set up Desktop Cube maybe and a few other bits of eye candy if I was running natively, and I'd also, I'd also configure Firefox with all the add-ons and bits and bobs. But that's really a Firefox setup. That's not, that's not really setting up Ubuntu. And my music, I'd normally just automatically add into Rhythmbox, but considering this is in a virtual machine, I don't really have a music connection to add to it because all my music is in iTunes. There's the Ubuntu One store there, which is actually powered by 7 Digital, so it's actually a bit of a con. This store itself is not Ubuntu store, it's 7 Digital store. It's just with a little slight rebranding and actually hosted in the what's it? But you see, we can search for almost anyone here. You see, if I was to search for one of my favourite bands, Queensryche, we have Queensryche results. It seems to be slow putting the information in. Yeah, well, screw that then anyway. But yeah, you see, and if we have Rhythmbox running as well, there are Rhythmbox of controls that will appear right here. I don't know how useful that is, because for the one click, because once we close Rhythmbox, oh no, it runs in the background. Okay, but oh no, it doesn't. It was just slow. It was just so you can launch Rhythmbox that way, but otherwise it's just one click here to launch Rhythmbox anyway, and then it's one click to bring up Rhythmbox and just control it from the main Rhythmbox window anyway. So I'm not sure how useful that feature is. As I say, I've reviewed 10.10 in the past and I'm not that impressed with it. This was more, these videos were more as a guide to help you set up Ubuntu. And pretty much we're all set up and we're all ready to go already. I mean, just to prove it, let me find a YouTube video. I'll try and play one of my own to avoid any kind of copyright issues, because obviously if it's my video, I own the rights to it. Tube.com. Okay, and yeah, let's just okay that. Yeah, plus with ads and whatnot, because I haven't installed any add-ons or extensions on the Firefox on here at the moment. J100 ARM. There we go. Search for myself. The top one, ironically, is a video I made called "Something for the Windows Users." Apparent. No, it's not that it's got the most blocks with it. I tell you what though, let's watch some vintage J800R and let's look at this one, the Opera 10.50 ad blocking, as it seems to have a lot of reviews, over 2,000. Probably got the most views out of any of my videos on my J800R account. So let's see if this runs.
Hi. Last time I did a video reviewing Opera's 10.50
let's turn it down.
version browser.
There we go. Well, as you can see, the video runs absolutely fine. It'll probably spaz up if I try and full screen it now. Let me see. No, runs absolutely fine full screen as well, apparently. Yep, as you can see, this video is very old because I'm still running Windows 7 here. This was on my monster PC, it would seem. I do miss it from time to time. Not Windows 7 necessarily, but I do miss the monster PC, the ability to play practically any game on it and whatnot. But, only a little, because this Mac I'm perfectly happy with. So yeah, Flash, YouTube running perfectly well, and I can assure you, with the restricted extras we installed, your MP3 audio tracks will run perfectly well. Your web's all set up. We've got our IRC client. We've got our instant messenger built in with empathy. We've got our social networking built in with Gwibber. We have our VoIP software with Skype. A BitTorrent client in the form of transmission. Our music player in terms of Rhythmbox. And we have, if I just go, and that's something else I could add to the dock, VLC media player for our video. Let's just shove you down here. There we go. And I probably wouldn't be able to open any kind of video files from this because I don't think the virtual machine could actually access. See if I go, no, you see that's file system within Linux, so I can't access any of my media files to show you, but pretty much any MP3s would work now, any excuse me a second, a little break part there. Any MP3s would work, your Flash videos will be working, pretty much you're set and ready to go. And you know, if you notice, we did pretty much all of that apart from installing one software. We did all of that within Ubuntu Tweak. And you saw how fast and simple it was. 2 videos and we're done. We're set up. Pretty much that's the end of my let's set up Ubuntu Linux, and we're all set up and we're all ready to go now with a full running system. I'm going to be leaving. I don't know whether I'll be playing it more with it much myself because I'm still very disappointed with a version 10.10, but I am going to leave the virtual machine installed for a small amount of time still, maybe for a month or so. So get your questions in. If you have any questions about Ubuntu, anything you want me to try and show you, so long as it's not something ridiculous like trying, some kind of script shell command or something ridiculous like that, then I'll be happy to make a video, as long as it's reasonable, I'll be happy to make a video and show you. If you're going to be asking me about how to add block lists to transmission, and then how to use transmission to download illegal pirated software or music or videos, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to refuse. I do not endorse piracy in any way, shape or form, and I would not basically publicly assist anyone in pirating. So anything else, any other help or assistance or anything you want to know within reason, drop me a comment on this video, and I'll see what I can do in the future. Otherwise, eventually this virtual machine probably will be removed, because just after setting it up and playing with it, just on these videos, I've just realised how disappointed I am with 10.10 even compared to version 10.4. Lucid just seems to have the edge over Maverick to me. But I will be trying out version 11.4 or 11.5, whatever it becomes when it's officially released though, and I might even do a small video review on that. But otherwise, we're done setting up pretty much. Most of this video seems to have been more of me rabbiting rather than actual setting up, because there wasn't much left to do. I didn't even realise that I could probably have actually fit it all into one video, and it might have been half hour to 45 minutes, even up to an hour, but that would be it. It'd have been done then. You see, that's the thing, probably within an hour, probably under an hour, we set up our entire system. And really, it didn't take me much time at all. I'd say probably actually the actual main setting up probably took half hour to 45 minutes max. Nothing. It's sorted. It's done. So, yeah, pretty much. I'm going to shut down my virtual machine, and you can watch me do that now. Yes, I want to shut down. No, I don't want to shut down the computer. I've just shut down the virtual computer, the virtual machine. And there it goes. Stopping VirtualBox additions as well, and terminating all other processes, and there it's gone. And now we're back within my Mac OS X desktop. So yeah, that is basically it for. Excuse me a second. That is basically it for setting up Ubuntu Linux. Easy as pie, takes seconds. With Ubuntu, tweak it, it's even faster, and you're ready to go within minutes. Now, if we were doing a let's set up Mac OS X, then it would just be an installation video because you're pretty much ready to go for your basics from install. But as you can see now, it's very simple, very easy to set up Ubuntu to your likings as well, and there isn't really much you need to do with that. That's just personalising, just grabbing some of the extra software you might want or need. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up right here. This is J800R. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which won't be let's set up Ubuntu.